Okay, really quick. Today's a new client. Really looking forward to shooting her. I really wanted to shoot the LEDs again to push these because I'm using the scrim, the 8x8 scrim. There we go. Let me just flip this around so you can see it. So here's the scrim. And I was going to use these with the LEDs, but I don't have the luxury of doing that today because it is a new client and I need the shot she needs. I don't want to like test lights with a client. And when I'm used to these lights and I know what I'm going to do. So I'll be using one light behind the scrim, which will be the D2. Just flip around here. So there's the D2 I'll be using behind the scrim, just with a standard reflector on it. I'm not going to move that much. And then I'll add on the B1X with the beauty dish as an additional light, and then I'll turn down this one for, to be a fill more than the main, and then this one will become the main. Then I'll take the beauty dish off and do some hard light shots as well. But we have a shot list that we have to do, and like I said, this is the first time with this young lady, so it should be fun. It's that breaking the ice kind of thing when you start. But let's get to the shoot so I don't have to talk anymore, and I'll show you what we did.
So this is Jess. She comes to us from Massachusetts, and yeah, she's done this before, but not a lot. So I'm expecting nerves, because when you don't shoot with somebody, this is like the first time we're shooting together, you're always going to be nervous. They're not like, they don't know how you're going to react or how you're going to be, and you don't know how they're going to be. So you have to break the ice pretty quickly and have that little short conversation right when they walk in the door. And then whatever they walked in with, that's where you start shooting, because those first couple of shots, the first outfit normally is really tight, and really stiff. I'm going to stay back, but you can see in her mouth, the pursed lips, the tight jaw. So I just stay back and relax and have a conversation in between each shot. You can see the stiff arms. This is what we have to break through. And, I knew she's going to break through easy, and quicker than most, but it was still like, that last one was a smile, but this one's a smile with the stiff arms. So you can see that like she is loosening up, but it's in sections. So I stay away and then, show her some of the pictures, the lighting, to see where she's at. The first good picture I get of her being relaxed and somewhat decent, that's when I show the picture and go, look how great you look. And, this is what the lighting looks like. And this is what we're getting. And then they loosen up a lot quicker. But the first couple ones don't show the pictures out of the camera because they'll look at them and go, oh my God, I look horrible. And you don't want to put that on them that quickly. So now I'm going to throw on my second light again, because I wanted to relax her first and not introduce too much at once. So introducing step by step, going, slowly, and staying back until she gets a little bit more comfortable with you. Then you can move in forward, or closer for the close-up shots and, the close proximity after the model gets used to you. So again, just step by step, take it slow. If it takes longer, who cares? Let it take longer, let them get comfortable with you, and then go from there. She was really happy with that shot. Now she's a little bit looser. This is straight out of camera. She looks good. She's, her jaw's unclenched. And she's relaxed. So you can see it in her body language right there. That's when I know it's time to change. As soon as they do anything like that, I'm going to get a couple extra shots. I'm going to go in a little closer so she gets used to me, because the body language was there. She's going to allow me to come close. It's not going to be, nerve-wracking for her, and I can move on. So, that's the beginning of the shoot. Every single time, it doesn't matter who the person is. Everybody's pretty much the same way when you first start shooting with them. Again, when they come out with a new outfit, you got to go through the same thing again. You got to have the conversation. You got to relax them again, because they have time to like deflate from the last outfit. Even when it was good, and you have to bring them back into the shoot. Once you do that, you're good to go. Now, she wanted a couple of ground shots. I'm good with anything they want to do, especially with a giant scrim like this. I know I'm not talking about the lights a lot, but a giant scrim like this, even without that second light, the photos would be fantastic. It's just, it covers everything. You don't have to worry about lighting whatsoever. You just point and shoot and it works. Now, a more powerful light is better with a scrim like this instead of a speed light. Don't get me wrong, a speed light will work. It'll still give a good spread of light, but you're going to be higher in ISOs. If you want the lower ISOs, you kind of need a big heavy duty light. The D2 is a 500 watt second. I don't have the 1000 watt second, and it does fine. I'm shooting at f8, 1/80th of a second, and ISO 64. And that's with a 500 watt second light. That's pretty decent. And this scrim is probably 8 feet away from her, and the light is probably 2 feet away from that. So it is a pretty powerful light. But you can see throughout the shoot, she gets more relaxed, more comfortable. She's loosening her jaw, her arms, her posture's, getting a little bit into the shoot. So for a first shoot with us, it was really good. Now, I booked 2 shoots with her right to start because I knew the first shoot was going to be a get to know each other shoot, and the next shoot's going to be, okay, this is what we can do. And, she'll use some of these photos, obviously, but the next shoot that we do together is going to be twice what this one is. And I always do this with new people, especially when they have specific needs for their photos. I always say, let's do a quick shoot to start, and then we'll do your regular shoot after we, get to know each other and get to work together. It just makes them more relaxed as well. And the second shoot, unless the photos are horrible and you did a bad job and they go, no, I don't want a second shoot, you're going to be good to go on the second shoot. You know each other already. So when you walk in the door, it's not that awkwardness. It's, sometimes they still are stiff in the beginning of the shoot. I will still shoot the outfit they walk in on just to break the ice again. But it's always going to be better. This has been a blast shooting with her, though. She is a really nice person and a joy to shoot. And she still has to loosen up a little bit, which I'm great with. But it was a good start. So now I'm going to that hard light. So I have a giant soft light as the fill, which is the scrim, and then I'm going a straight hard light. And I love mixing these two together because I think the photos just come out great. I actually think I should have dropped down just a little bit on the hard light, and brought the fill up just a little bit more for just a tiny less contrast. But again, it was a learning thing for both of us. We do have some beautiful shots from it. But anyway, thanks for watching as always. If you have any questions, leave them below.